Okay, go ahead.
So, how's everybody doing? I'm glad everybody has shown up. This is exciting because I think this is one of the biggest things that people, feel, not the most confident about is how do we talk to people and how do I get people on our team? So, we know that, we make money, just on our own. We are growing our teams and we are teaching other people how to do the same thing. So, in this, business that is Goodness gracious. Your internet is unstable. Can y'all hear me okay? Yes.
It's like
Okay. So I'm
cutting in and
assuming it's a
out
yes.
again.
So we know that the business is, duplicatable. And a big part of it is having people to teach how to do it. Is it nuts?
I don't know why it keeps cutting in and out.
I don't know either.
Can you like put on your hotspot on your phone?
Yeah, I can try that. Let's see. So give me a second.
Can anyone else see her?
No, she's cutting in and out. She's trying to fix it.
Okay. So is that better?
Um, yeah, we'll try it.
Give me a quick second. Let me plug my phone up. Okay, so it's on my hotspot now. So hopefully that will help it. Does that help?
It seems to right now.
Okay, great. All right. So sorry, you guys. Always gotta love technology. It doesn't always participate when we want it to. So this Zoom is all about helping you to grow your teams and what it takes to actually get people to sign with you. And so when you leave today, I want you to understand how the color personalities really matter with signing DTs. And a big part of that, one of the things that we've learned since probably, all of us, we all know the golden rule where you want to treat others the way that, you would want to be treated. And so what I'm telling you on this Zoom is that that is not true. Okay. It has never really been true. It's just, what we've been using, but it has a lot of limitations. And so there's this guy, and his name is David Kerpen, and he wrote this book, The Art of People. And he actually suggested that that's not true and that we have what he calls the platinum rule, and it's to treat others the way that they want to be treated. And that's one thing that I have really started to learn in this business is I'm growing in my business and I'm trying to figure out why am I not signing as many people as what I want to sign. And so what I've learned is that I'm talking too much about myself. I'm not talking to other people about what they need to hear in order for them to really want, to actually give this business a chance and an opportunity. So that's what this is about. It's about the color personalities. And if you have not taken the color personality test, it is so important that you know what your color personality is, but it's also important that you understand what other people's color personalities are. Okay, so there are 4 color personalities. Okay, everybody has a little bit of each color personality in them. So there's blue, there's red, there's green, and there's yellow. And all of us have a little bit of each of them, but some of us, have more of one than the other. This is the other thing you want to keep in mind is that every single person has 2 dominant ones. Okay, and what our jobs are is to speak to what their color is. And so when we're sharing about the business and we're sharing about the opportunity, we want to make sure that we know what their color is, because that's going to help us, determine what to actually say to them and how we speak, to them, speak in their language, right? So keep that in mind. We've got the rule that came from of People by David Kirpin. So everyone is different. Everyone wants to be treated differently. And so we want to keep that in mind when we're signing, DTs and when we're having those conversations with people. Not right now. Not right now. I mean it. Go away. Right now. Thank you. You knew I was doing this. So anyways, one of my biggest mistakes, that is my son as well. One of my biggest mistakes is really that I'm really excited about the business always. My sound is going in and out. I can't understand you. Is that anybody else? No? Okay. So it's being recorded, so hopefully it actually catches and it can just, you can just replay it if that's the case. But I really want to try to honor everybody's time. So my biggest mistake is talking too much. I love to talk about the business. I love to talk about how, what the business has done for me and how it has changed my life, and, all of the relationships I have made and how it has, really encouraged me to grow as a person. And honestly, it's me. And that is not what you want to do when you're talking to people, because this business is about people and it's about helping people. And so if you're caught up in what's going on with you, then that doesn't speak the language to someone that needs, to hear something different, because everybody is looking for something different out of this business. Most people come to the business and they want to find out about, how much money they're going to make. That's what usually attracts people, but that's not what is going to catch them, and want them to, help them to want to be a part of your team. Okay. So most people know of the 5 love languages, and that's a big part of this, is discovering who they are and what is important to them and speaking their language. So you have to be willing to kind of, study the personalities and getting good at listening. That is a huge, huge thing that I do not do. And I'll just be honest. I get to talking. I get so excited. If anybody has been on a 3-way call with me, I'm like hyped up, guys. Like, I'm so hyped because this business has changed my life and I see it changing others. But really, when people are coming in, they don't know that. They don't know. They have no idea. So it's so important for us to be considering, who they are and being able to listen for that. All right. And so sometimes we are talking too much, and that might be what you're doing. It could be that you don't have enough confidence in what the business is doing. Okay. And what it's going to do for you. And that could be it. But practicing listening, for what color they are is going to really help you. Okay. So know who you are speaking to. Take notes when you're talking to them. Some people take notes in their head. That's perfectly fine. I am not one of those people. Once you say it, I'm like, I don't know what she said. I don't know what he said. So I really do have to take notes. And as I'm taking notes, it really starts to occur to me what kind of person I'm speaking to. And when I determine, okay, this is the person that I'm speaking to, because remember, I'm listening to them, I'm asking them questions. Okay, when I determine what kind of color they're speaking to, I can speak back in their language and I can share the parts of the business that really mean the most to them, that are really going to attract them the most. Every part of the business is important, and we need to talk about every little part of the business. But where you place your emphasis is going to depend on what the personality is. Okay, so make sure we're speaking their language. So how do we do this? Okay, how the heck do we determine what color they are? How do we put ourselves in a position where we are understanding what their, what their color is? Well, first of all, you need to know what their color is. Okay, and you need to know what the colors are, individually. And so what I'm going to do is, in the link that I posted in the Lion Chasers, I'm going to put, just a description of the color personalities and some of the things that I have gone over. I'll kind of type them up a little bit and put them in there. So just look for those sometime by tomorrow so that you can find them and you can save them to your phone. Because honestly, when we are just kind of talking about the business and we don't have an aim, we're not hitting a target. Okay. And so one of the things that I realized is that I'm like talking to people, and I talk to a lot of people, but the reason probably why I've been signing people is because I'm excited about the business. I've got the excitement down. I've got the confidence down, but I talk to a lot of people too. And so in this, maybe I talk to 10, people about the business, Okay. If I talk to 10 people about the business and I sign one a week, okay, that's great. But what I want to do is I want to get to a place where I'm talking to 10 people and I'm signing 3 or 4. We know those people that are signing lots of people because they understand how to speak the person's language. And so, this is not a business where you come into and it's just, if you're just throwing darts and you don't have really an aim, it's going to go anywhere. So we need to make sure that we have a target and that when we are, talking to people, that we know how to appropriately, place those darts, and it's going to hit it more than likely every single time. So I'll give you an example of today. Okay. I literally used, I've been really studying this, and I literally used a script, and this script came from a lady. Her name is Kim Satterwhite. So you may or may not know who she is. Definitely, look her up if you don't know who she is. But this lady came from Kim Satterwhite. Somebody is not muted. I hear some back feed. So anyway, so this came from Kim Satterwhite, and I literally just kind of took what she said and I used it, and I practiced listening. So I was like reviewing the colors, I kind of knew them, but what I have not been doing, I know about them. I've known about them for a long time, but I've been doing my own thing. I've been very selfish. So I went down and read off, these questions. I used the script, and I'm going to kind of share that script with you tonight. So I used the script and I took notes. Okay. So the very first question that I asked her when she got on the phone, okay, first, before I got on the phone with her, I scoped out her Facebook page. I try to figure out kind of who she is, looking at her Facebook page, trying to get a gauge on, is she red? Is she yellow? Is she blue? Okay. If she's red, most people that are red do not post long books because they're short and to the point. Okay. So most people that are red are not going to have these long drawn out posts. Okay, so I was just trying to see what kind of person she is. Does she have a lot of pictures of family? Is she always talking about her kids? Like, what kind of person do I think she is? And that kind of helps me, with guiding my questions if I have to come up with questions on my own to help lead the conversation. So before I go over the script, I want to talk about the color personalities. So these are the things about the color personalities. Okay, someone that is red has a very dominant personality. Like, they're very dominant. Okay. When you're talking to somebody that is red, okay, and you're asking them a question about, tell me a little bit about yourself. I just want to get to know you and, that kind of thing. And they start talking back to you. You're going to hear them talking about their achievements. They're going to talk about their career. They're going to talk about what they've done. They're going to talk about, maybe they've been in leadership or management. They're going to talk about how quickly they can get things accomplished. They're going to talk about all that stuff. And remember, most people, can you all see me still? Okay. Most people have 2 dominant ones. Okay. And so you're really listening to kind of figure out what all are they talking about. And that's going to lead what you share and what you place your emphasis on. So red person is honestly, they're talking about themselves. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about what I have done and the things that I can do and the places that I can take people. That's what they're talking about. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just their personality. They are a go-getter, okay? Then this is that person that you go to and they got 5,000 friends and no space on their Facebook page. They've got, 1 million followers on Instagram, and we're trying to figure out how in the world do they even connect with all of these people. Okay. That is a blue person. They're a people person. They have lots of friends. They love to mingle. Their pictures are probably going to be, on Facebook. They're probably going to have a lot of things about going out and doing stuff with friends and having a good time and vacationing. That's a blue person. Okay, more than likely. It means they're stronger blue. It does not mean that they don't have other things, other colors. It just means that they're really strong blue. That's important to them, okay? That person that has a crap load of friends, they're probably blue, okay? Then you have the yellow personality. The yellow personality is about everybody else. So they're going to talk about their family. They're going to talk about all the volunteer work that they do. They're going to talk about if they're, part of a church or some kind of organization, what they're doing for everybody else. They're going to talk about the community. They're going to talk about when they're involved in their, kids' schools. They're going to put themselves last always. So when you're talking to the yellow personality and you're like, tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay. This person that I talked to today, literally, she was like, I'm married and my husband is amazing. Okay. I'm asking her to tell me about herself. She says, I'm married and my husband is amazing. Then she goes on to say, and I have children and they are amazing, and all the things that her children are doing. Guys, that is a part of who she is, but she's not talking about herself, okay? She's not. She's talking about everybody else. She also talked about how she loves her job and how she is that person that empowers. Like literally, I'm asking her to talk about herself. She's talking about how she goes and empowers other people in the building and how that she just loves helping people and that is what she wants to bring into this world. That was what she said. I literally wrote it down right here, okay? When she's telling me all this, I was like, she is yellow. And then I started to laugh because I am yellow. And I remember when I had my first conversation, my initial kind of opportunity conversation with Kelsey, and I was like, I remember talking about myself, and I talk about my son a lot. Guys, if y'all have ever talked to me, I'm talking about how I want to be a stay-at-home mom, how I want to, have the flexibility of the time with my son. That was what attracted me to this business. Okay, because I wanted flexibility, because I want to be a mom and I want to be at every game, and I still feel that way. But I'm yellow, and that's why I talk about those things. How I'm involved in church and I empower my students. It is about everybody else but me, and there's nothing wrong with it, okay? But again, you have to know who you're talking to, because that is going to lead how you talk about the business and what the business is going to do for them, okay? So that's what's going to get them caught, when you know who you're talking to. Okay, so then we've got the green person. The green person, and I know of some green people on here because some green people are on here. And I enrolled them. And those green people, you ask them about themselves and they're kind of like, I don't know what you want me to share. Like, what do you want to know? Okay, they're not going to tell you anything more than what you asked for. I see you green people laughing because you're not going to tell me anymore. And now that I think about it, I'm like, man, they really do ask that. They're going to be like, I really don't, what is it that you want to know? They're going to ask you more than likely in some kind of way, because they don't know how to talk about themselves because they're green. They're not focused on themselves like the red person is about my accomplishments and my this and my that, which is fine. The yellow person is about everybody else. The blue person is like, let's party. Like, I'm trying to go out and have a good time, and I've got friends and I like to do this and I've traveled. And then the green person is like, and what do you want to know? Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to know? And then they may say, well, why do you need to know that? That's a green person. So when you're asking the right questions, guys, they are going to give you exactly what you need to know. But this is the thing. Once you know what color they are, you got to know how to speak their language. Okay, just like the 5 love languages. Does anybody know about the 5 love languages with Gary Chapman? He wrote that book several years back. Okay, so yeah. So we have 5 love languages, and he basically says that, if you're going to have a relationship, you have to speak the language that person, receives. And a lot of times we speak the language that we receive. If we need affirmation, we're going to give lots and lots of affirmations. If we need, gifts, we're going to be a gift giver because that's what we need. But that is not what everybody else needs. And that's where it goes back to that platinum rule, not the golden rule, but the platinum rule that, we want to treat others the way that they want to be treated. Okay. The way they want to be treated. And so knowing who you're talking to is going to help you actually speak to them. And this is the thing. If you're only talking to one person a month, one person a week, you're not going to get good at it because you're not talking to people enough to be able to get good at that skill. It's practice, 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 and then it gets easier. But if you only talk to one person, then it's going to be more difficult for you to recognize who who that person is that we're actually, addressing. Okay. So important. All right. So this is the thing. You want to make sure that you know what to say to them. So what are we going to place emphasis on? Every single person in this business came in for some money. Every single one of them. Okay. But the person who is yellow wants to know that they can touch people. They can touch lives. They can make a difference. That's what the yellow person wants to know. They want to know that this business is not going to, get in the way of them being able to be with their families, and, that they're going to be able to still be that mom. Verbatim, this is what the girl said that I was talking to today. She said, let me see if I can find her little sheet. So she says that she wants to be, it's important to her for her to be with her kids and for that not to be something that's compromised. That's literally like what she said. Like, she doesn't want to compromise time with her kids. That is so me all day long. I'm yellow. Okay. And if you've talked to me enough, you probably think I have a little red in me. I do. But I have more yellow. I care more about other people. I care more about serving other people. Give me a quick second. I got to wipe my nose because these allergies are like crazy. So I'm trying not to do this big, huge, on the Zoom. Okay. But I'm going to have to wipe my nose every now and then. All right. So what do we say to these people? Okay. And why do we say it? Okay. So to the red person, we want to talk about the fact that there are no glass ceilings. They can make as much money as they want to make. That's what the red person wants to know. They've talked about how they can make money. That's what they want to know. They want to know, what do I do to make the money? And can you explain that to me? We want to talk about how simple it is to make that money. So we want to place emphasis on the four loyal customers a month and the 3 distributors, the steps to success. Okay. We want to talk about how they can pass up anybody. That, you can pass up whoever you want to pass up. You might tell them, you can pass me up if you'd like to. You can make as much money as you want to. We want to talk about the ways to make money. So there's 3 ways to make money. We want to place emphasis on you can make money several different ways. Okay, we're emphasizing this. In other words, it's not that we're not talking about all the other stuff, but we are definitely talking about how they can make some money, because these people are career driven, they're goal oriented, they're go getters. They're going to come in and they're going to just run. Okay. If you are able to connect with them and speak their language. Okay. They're quick decision makers. So that red person is going to be like, once you talk to them and you tell them exactly what they need to know and what this business is going to do for them. Okay. They're going to be like, okay, all right, sign me up. That's a red person. Okay. All right. So that's really important. The blue person, okay? The blue person wants to know about the fact that we travel, that we have, that you've made a lot of friendships in this business, and every last one of us has done that. We've made connections that may not have been why you came into the business. Okay, that wasn't necessarily why I came into the business, but I have made so many connections so you can relate to them no matter what color they are. But you're going to place more emphasis on that. So you're going to talk about the friendships. You're going to talk about the fun. You're going to talk about how you have a great time when you go, to Florida, and that we have these amazing trips. You're going to maybe, emphasize the fact that there's an island that the company has, or that, Mark Pentecost, our CEO, has purchased, and that he invites people to just have a good time. You're going to talk about that. You might talk about vacations. Like, I have go on vacations with the money I make from this business, and we have a great time. Because these are the people that want to travel, want to have fun, want to go out, they want to make friends, okay? And they are also quick decision makers if you talk to them the way that they receive, okay? The yellow person, they want to hear about flexibility. They want to know that they can fit this into their life and that they can still go to their kids' basketball games, baseball games, that their family can be included in this business. They are all about family. They want to know that they can work from anywhere. And so you're going to place emphasis on that. You're placing emphasis on what they need to hear. And the only way you know what they need to hear is if you slow down and listen to them. Okay. So you want them to know, the yellow person, that, they don't have to pick and choose. Like, they're going to be able to get exactly what they need out of this business. And they're not going to have to make a lot of sacrifices with their family, because this is going to weave right into their life. And this is going to be amazing. All right. The green person, Green people need the Forbes magazine. I know some people on here that are probably going to start laughing. I see the smiles. Okay. The green person is the person that's like, okay, so, what they're asking questions. They're like, so, what's the relevancy of, this business, and how long has this business been around? And, who is the owner? And I had somebody that was very green yesterday that asked me what kind of soil were the products, I'm so serious, guys. What kind of soil? Okay. What kind of soil? And you know what? If that is a question and you don't know the answer, so what? The green person just needs to know that, you know what? That's a great question. I'm going to find that answer out for you and just move on. Okay. Next. All right. They need the information. So what's a green person need for you to do? They need for you to be prepared. Because if you don't have the Forbes magazines, we've been in Forbes magazine twice. If you don't know a little bit about the company, if you can't tell them that we've been in business since 2000 and I believe it's 1, and that we went debt free in 2009, there's a green person going on, okay? Because I could care less about 2001, it could have been 2010, and it's not gonna matter to me, okay? 2009, we went debt free, and the little bit of statistics because that's what they're gonna want to know. But they are not, I repeat, they are not going to sign on the first try. It is not you. It is them. That's what they need. And when you recognize who you're talking to, I swear to you, you are not going to be that moved by the fact that, they didn't sign. You'll just be like, okay, they're green. I'll follow up. And you might have to follow up with this person several times. So there are some green people on this Zoom that I followed up with 2, 3, 4, 5 times now. We're 3 months down the road and I'm still following up. They're green. That's what they need. Okay. Like they need time to process. Okay. They need the fact that we're 500 Inc. They need the fact that we're voted, the best network marketing, company with leadership wise, that we have excellent leadership. They need the article. So have the article. And be like, I'll shoot that to you. No problem. Don't be like, oh my God. Just know they need to read. They want to know about the compensation plan. I am yellow. I don't care about the compensation plan. But the green person is going to be like, they're going to read every single page. They're going to read they're going to read all the little writing at the bottom. They're going to read all of that. And they're going to read it again. And then they're going to call you back, or you're going to call them, and they're going to say, okay, great. So can you send me? And you're going to be like, oh my Lord. Sure. Yes, I can send that to you. No problem. Be ready, because that's a green person. And there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. The green person only is going to tell you what they need to know, what you need to know. And they're only going to ask you for every single detail that is possible that you can find. They want to know the history of the company. So let them have it. Okay. If you don't understand the compensation plan, sure, I'll send you a video. Like, I don't know the compensation plan, so I'm not going to do that. Okay. They need to know that we have support and there's team pages. Okay. They need to know. If you don't know, your answer is, you know what? I can definitely get that answer for you. That's no problem. Absolutely. I'll go ahead and send that to you. And then, you know what? I'll just check back in with you in a couple days. And if you have any questions, please let me know, because guess what? They're going to have some questions, because that's a green person. Okay. So I had to put my phone down, so I don't know where I am on time. Okay. But this is what I want you to do right now. I'm going to give you a quick task. Okay. So can somebody tell me the time? Like, just type it at the bottom. So quick task. I want you to write down. Okay. Every one of us have businesses. We have our own businesses. We are bosses. We are going places. Okay. And you want people in your business. I want you to write down 5 people that you want on your team. 5 people. Who are those 5 people that you think of that you're like, I want this person on my team? Thank you to whoever wrote 903. So I will try to be, I know we got started a little bit late. Who are those 5 people? Go ahead and write those down. Okay. If you don't have those people written down, you're doing yourself a disservice, because each one of us, we probably know people that would kill it in this business. But you know why they're not in the business yet? Because either we aren't confident in talking to them about the business, or we don't even know their color. We haven't even thought about their color. We haven't even thought about who we're talking to. When you know who you're talking to, you're going to be so much more confident because you know, okay, this is a green person. So I need to have Forbes magazine articles. I need to know about 500 Inc. I need to know, I need to have before and afters. I might need to talk about how we have that fit together page. I need to be prepared. And I also know that they're not going to sign on the first try. So that's going to relieve all that, like, oh my God, they didn't sign. It's another person that didn't sign. Yellow and green people don't sign right away. It ain't going to happen. Green people is like never going to happen. Never. This is not going to happen. Maybe once in a blue moon. Okay. Yellow people could, but more than likely that yellow person needs follow-ups. So stop thinking that you're not being successful. Stop thinking that. You are being successful if you approach it right. You just need to know who you're talking to. If you're talking to a yellow person, they're not going to sign right away. They need for you to follow up. They need for you to love on them. They need for you to follow up again. They need for you to tell them, hey, honey, I was thinking of you. They need for you to keep doing that. And so you can't just like write them off. You need to write them down. If you have those 5 people and one is red and one is blue, guess what? That's who you need to be reaching out to on tomorrow. Because now that you know what to say to them and you know what to listen for, and I'm gonna give you the questions to ask here in a minute, what to listen for, you now know what they need. And you also know that the likelihood that a red person is gonna sign like this is really, really high. More than likely they're gonna sign if you tell them what they need to know. It's not about you, it's about them. And so stop talking about yourself. Like me, I'm always talking about what it has done for me and all the people it has helped. Red people are like, I don't care. How do I make money? Tell me how to make money. And they may not tell you that. But if you are talking to them and you're going on and on and on about the wrong thing, you've shut them down and they don't care. And they're like, this isn't for me. This person talks too much. Don't have time. Okay. So these are the questions you want to ask. So everybody hopefully has a pencil because I'm going to tell you the questions that I've asked, and I've signed 2 people in the last 2 days because I have practiced asking these questions and shutting my mouth and listening. Who am I talking to? Who are you talking to? So number 1, you get them on a call. You're like, I'm so excited to talk to you, so this is what you want to say. If you don't have a pencil, it'll be recorded so you can rewrite it later. So number 1, so, I want to just have a quick conversation with you. So, and I really just want to find out if this is going to be a good match for you. So you're talking to them like, people are coming in, and most people are coming in skeptical. Probably all of them are coming in sick. 99% of people don't know what this is. They don't know what this business is going to do for them. So you need to make sure that you are letting them know, I just want to find out if this business is going to be a great match for you. We already know that we are listening for who they are. And so we're going to make it a match for them because we're going to know what to say. Does that make sense? No, I'm on a Zoom. Do not ask me any questions right now. And that is the red inside of me right there. You see it? See how it came out? Okay. All right. So you're going to say, I just really want to find out, this is going to be a good match for you. And, have some excitement. Don't read off the paper. Okay. Like you can say that verbatim. Like I literally say that verbatim, but I say it just like that. So I just want to find out if this is going to be a great match for you. So feel free to ask me questions at the end. You can interrupt me at any time. This is a no pressure phone call. I just want you to stop me. And, if you need me to further explain anything, Panyel's telling me I'm blood orange. I'm totally open to that. I'm completely open to that. So that's like the first little paragraph. I am setting it up, okay, to let them know that I want to know about who they are. That's what I'm setting it up for. Okay. So the next thing I want to say is, I definitely want to get to know you a little bit better. So can you just tell me a little bit about, yourself and, so that, I can just figure out if this is something for you. Okay. And that it's going to fit right into your life. In our minds, we know this is going to fit into their life. But what we are doing is setting ourselves up to listen. Okay. To listen and to find out, what they need from the business so we can speak their language. Okay. So now you are listening for the color personality. So I'm going to go back to the person that I talked to today. These are some things I wrote down. She told me that she had 3 kids and they were her world. When she said that, I was like, I think we're on to a yellow. Okay. She said she has an awesome husband. He is amazing. Like these are written down. He's amazing. She says that she is going to quit school because quit her full-time job because she wants to become a guidance counselor. And she just loves helping people. That is written down. I knew I was talking to a yellow. Okay. Does that make sense? Like, I know who I'm talking to when she said all that. And so what I do is I'm like, absolutely. So I kind of expand on that. Yes. Anything that I can connect with. So I'm yellow. So I was able to connect very easily with her. But if you're not yellow and you're red or you're green, you're going to dig to try to find something to connect. Okay. So, how have you helped people? So you might talk about how, yeah, absolutely. So I love helping people as well. And that's one of the things I really love about this business is, the number of people that we help as we grow in our businesses. That, like, if you're green and you don't have nothing else to say a little bit and then get off of it. Okay. So I'm listening for what she has to say. All right. The next question I ask after she's talking to me, I kind of got an idea. If she's not telling you enough stuff, okay, or he's not telling you enough stuff to gauge, you're going to have to come up with some questions. You're going to have to kind of probe a little bit. Okay. So you might say, so do you have any family? A green person might be like, why do you need to know? I have family. So reason why, what is that? Is that important? A red person is just going to be like, yeah, I do. And they're going to move on. Yep. I have family. I have 2 kids and a husband. They're not going to be like, my husband is amazing. And he is, they're not going to do all that because that's not their focus. Okay. So you're going to kind of get an idea the more questions you ask if they don't give you enough. So she gave me enough. I didn't need to ask any more questions. So the next thing you want to say is, what do you love about your life after you've talked to them? So tell me, like, what do you love about your life right now? Like, what's going well? Okay. This girl is yellow. And she said that, I just appreciate, this is going to sound funny. I literally wrote this down. I just appreciate all the small things in my life. And I am just so grateful for the opportunity to help others. Honey, yellow. I was like, woo, this is going to be great. I know exactly what to say to her. Okay? Because she's like, I am just so grateful for all the small things. And she listed everything. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my children. I'm so grateful that I have a husband. She went on and on and on and on about how much she was grateful. That's yellow. Okay. So I was like, great. So what am I going to talk to her about in this business? Okay. That let me know. All right. So the next question I ask is, what would you like to change about your life? This is getting into how we're going to like get this business to help them. Okay. So what do you like to change, if anything at all? Like, what would you change? The green person is going to be like, I don't know. Can you elaborate? Okay. So you're going to be like, sure. So when you're down the line, if you wanted your life to look different, like what would that look like? Like, what would your life look like, when you're down the line? Okay. And they're going to be able to respond. If they're not giving you what you need, you are the consultant. You are asking. You need to ask because you need to know who you're talking to. And if you still don't know who you're talking to, then it either means that you aren't, skilled enough in that area. Maybe you just need to kind of go back and think about, what the colors are, what you're listening for. Or, it could mean that maybe you're not asking enough questions. Okay. You're not getting them you're not probing them enough. Okay. So that's super duper important. All right, so they're going to tell you about that. And so I'm going to say, okay, great. So I will review what they said. So you know what? I'm going to compliment them. So it sounds like you, this yellow person, I just love that you are somebody that cares about people. And this business is going to be perfect for you because it's all about helping other people. Okay, if I'm talking to a red person, you know what? You are so goal-oriented. You're going to be amazing in this business because you are a go-getter. And honestly, the people who, find great success right in the beginning are the people that just go off and run and go. And so you're going to be amazing in this business because it's just going to be super simple. If I'm talking to a green person, you're going to be great in this business because you're so organized, and the organization is going to help you to get to where you need to go. And that is just something that is really important, especially because we're interacting with people. And so that's going to be such a strength for you. You got to know who you're talking to. Compliment them and say, okay, so, I'd love to, I want to share some more. So, this is what I would say next. So if I could show you, honestly, how to get what you need out of this business without sacrificing your values, and with little or no overhead. And you're going to have flexibility of time. Does that really interest you? Because, I definitely think this is something that, you can definitely rock out and it's going to fit into your lifestyle. Okay. Remember in the beginning, I set it up for trying to figure out, is this going to be a perfect fit for you? Knowing good and well that at the end of the conversation, I'm going to have said, yes, it's a good fit for her, but only if I have listened to what she has said or he has said. Only when I listened and only when I was able to speak their language. I'm going to talk about everything. I'm still talking about money, but I'm not going to keep talking about it if it's somebody that doesn't care. The yellow person, I literally talked about, we make money 3 different ways. And I went boom, boom, boom. She asked me a lot of other questions, which means she's very, very yellow. And I went right back into, this is all about helping people. And you're going to be able to make lots of money because you're going to be willing to help other people. And that's what this is about. It's about serving. She was like, oh, yes, this is great. I was like, yes, wonderful. And then I was like, so we can go ahead and get you signed up if you're ready. I always assume. And she was like, well, remember yellow. Well, I need to talk to my husband. And so I said, oh, great. So he was supportive. I love that you said he was amazing. I'm using what she told me. He was, I love that he is supportive of you. And so, go ahead and talk to him. And I just know this is going to be something for you all. And since he's supportive, I'm just excited about, getting you started. So she said, okay, I'm going to talk to my husband. And okay, well, what about in 2 days? I'm going to give you some time and I'm going to talk to you in a couple of days. She was like, yeah, is 12 o'clock okay? Yes, that's going to be wonderful. I am so excited. I have been praying for something like this. I kid you not. That's what she said. She would not have been praying for something like this if all I had talked about was the money. If all I had talked about was how to stay organized. If all I had talked about was the friendship and the fun and partying. She would have been like, I don't think this is for me. I spoke her language. And so it's so important that you know the colors, okay? Does that mean that everybody is going to be, ready to go right away? No, because there's going to be, remember, everybody comes into this business with a little bit of fear, a little bit of, I don't know what this is. So that's something that we're going to talk about at a later time. I'm going to do another Zoom, and it's going to be how to overcome objections. How do we overcome the objections from the red, the green, the blue, the yellow? Okay? And keeping in mind that if you get good at identifying who you're talking to, speaking their language, and how do we overcome their objections, you will start signing DTs. Hands down, no question about it. You have to follow it up with confidence. You have to back it up with confidence. And the more you talk to people, the better you'll get. Slow down. Don't talk about yourself. Talk to them about what they need to hear and make those connections. Try to make those connections wherever it is with the business. Okay. That is all that I have tonight. I am a little bit over, I know, because we started a little bit late and we had some issues. But I want to open it up. I'm going to go ahead and we can stop the Zoom. So if you can stop recording, Kelsey, that would be great. And so I'm just kind of waiting for that light to go off. And I don't know if she's going to, I don't know where she is. Let's see if she can shut it off for me. 3 different ways to make money. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes answering whatever questions you have at the bottom. So I'm not going to stay on here because I really want to stop recording, but I'm not the one recording. So Kelsey, I don't know where she is. So we're just going to keep going with it because I don't want to hold you all up. So I don't know the time.
I'm right here.
Oh, can you stop the recording?
Yeah.